Basically, good urban governance is really about the effective process of decision making and the implementation of urban policies and plans. I'd like to mention 4 important points about urban governance in Singapore. I think first, we take a very long-term, comprehensive and integrated approach to planning. When we do planning, we consider economic, social and environmental objectives. So it is about achieving economic growth, but with good social outcomes and ensuring that your environment continues to be protected. Secondly, the planning is done together with many agencies to make sure everyone is on board, there's clear alignment. We have taken into consideration all their needs, and we also consult the public. I think the second very important attribute for us in urban governance is a very visionary and stable leadership. We have been fortunate to have had the same government for a long time. So this government is able to look very long term and not just take short-term populist decisions. Sometimes long-term decisions require a lot of trade-off and very difficult decisions have to be made. The second attribute is about good leadership and strong institutions to implement your plans. I think the third thing we have done is to be highly innovative in our solutions. We are a very small city-state, we have very limited land and we hardly have any natural resources. So our planning solutions have to be very innovative to ensure that we can make use of the little resources that we have for maximum benefit of our residents. And finally, we have very strong public-private partnership. The government can plan and put in place the infrastructure which facilitates development by the private sector. So we tap on the expertise, the entrepreneurship, and the ideas and the finance of the private sector in order to realize our plans. And our plans are widely exhibited, and we take in feedback from broad areas of the public before we finalize our plans. So broadly, those are the 4 key attributes. I think a very good example is the new city extension of Singapore called the Marina Bay. It is actually a very good example to illustrate all these attributes of good governance that I was talking about. So for example, the government took the leadership to develop a very visionary plan for Marina Bay. A very exciting plan of a 24/7 city extension and with a lot of greenery, and it's not only about commercial development, but we are going to bring in residents, leisure, recreation facilities, and we actually put in place a 100-hectare garden right in the middle of the city with prime land. So it will be a business center, so we took into consideration the economic consideration for the city. It will be also a 24/7 lively city. People can work there, enjoy leisure and recreation with great gardens. That's the social aspect. And thirdly, environment. Of course, we will plan it in such a way that it minimizes, there's no pollution, it will be a great environment, the buildings will be energy saving. So that's the holistic part. Now, the plan is developed with many government agencies as partners before we finalize the plan. And the plan is also, after we have done a preliminary plan, we consulted with many business people and Singaporeans in Singapore, the residents, to ask whether they like the plan. So that is the collaboration with your stakeholders. And finally, implementation. We put into place government has to invest in infrastructure to make sure that you can facilitate the development by the private sector who will put their money and invest in the area. So the government brought in all the roads, all the very state-of-the-art infrastructure to facilitate development. So as a result, we create a very good platform in which the private sector can invest and then develop Marina Bay. So today you have fantastic elements there. The private sector has a very good location, very well served by the mass rapid transit, which is the rail line. and with a beautiful bay in front of them. For the citizens, they enjoy it because they go there and there's a beautiful waterfront, there are parks, there are places to eat, there are great public spaces that they can go and use the space for carnivals or for picnics. So that's where the citizens also benefit. And I think for Singapore, it has really helped us to project a global city image, but one that is great to live, work and play in.